So whether you are at the stage where you're just creating a page and that's how you do it, or whether you've currently got a page and now you want to switch it over, then that's what we're now going to do here. We're actually going to switch Joe's test page for the SNA over to the new timeline. Now please excuse this page, it's a mishmash of stuff. It's simply a test page. That's exactly what it is. It's really to test apps and things like that. Okay, so we're now going to swap this page over to the new timeline. If I click on preview up here, and that is going to bring it up in this new timeline design, and here we go. Okay, so what's missing from this one? What's the difference? Well, in this one you can see I've got my admin panel at the top, and then really underneath that it's exactly the same. Okay, so I'll show you where that is. If I go over here, I'm just going to open up my admin panel, and that brings me up an admin panel here, okay, which is exactly like the new one. So there's really no difference between the two, other than obviously this one's got a little bit of activity on it. Alrighty then. So here we go. We're now going to go through and start doing what we need to do with this page. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add myself a cover image. Okay, so I'm going to click on add a cover image, and if you actually click on this learn more, it is going to actually tell you, let me just go and open that in a new tab, it is actually going to tell you the different rules and regulations for your cover image. Now I'm just going to pop into the screen here because I really think this is a very, very important point that you need to note. Facebook has some very specific restrictions here about your cover image. You can see here it says price or purchase information such as 40% off or download it, contact information, anything that's in your about section, it's already there in your about section, okay? References to user interface elements such as like, share or any other Facebook site features. And then call to actions such as get it now, tell your friends, that kind of stuff. Okay, so they really do have some very specific rules and regulations here about what you should put on your timeline cover. And you know, there's a few people kind of around Facebook that are testing it and seeing how far they can push it and that kind of stuff, with arrows and things that look like arrows that aren't arrows, and certain, you know, things that maybe are a call to action, maybe aren't a call to action. As a teacher, my advice would be to play it safe. I have heard that apparently Facebook are simply removing cover images that they don't like as opposed to shutting pages down, but I presume they would shut down repeat offenders. So I would just be cautious and careful. Use your page to represent your brand, okay? Use your page to represent your brand and be clever about it. There's a gazillion examples of great brands out there on Facebook. Just go and have a look at Red Bull, go and have a look at Macy's, have a look at Coca-Cola, you know, all the kind of big brands are out there doing it and they're looking pretty good. So get out there and have a look and see what the other brands are doing. But I would err on the side of caution with that one. Okay? Alright, so heading back to here, what we're going to do is upload our image. So I'm going to upload a photo from my desktop. So I'm going to click on upload a photo and I am going to grab my SNA timeline header. And that is just thinking about it. Boom. Now, all I've done for this really, guys, is that I've, you know, grabbed one of my Social Network and Academy images and I've resized it. And the sizes across here are 851 pixels wide by 315 pixels down. 851 pixels wide by 315 pixels down. Now, as you can see, you know, I haven't thought this through because, you know, I've got half of my wording cut off there, but I'm just doing this as a test for you. And if your cover is bigger than the required pixels, then you can drag it around to reposition it, but I would suggest you get it the right pixels to begin with because that's going to give you a nice, clear image. Okay? Just save those changes, and then what we'll do is I'm just going to very quickly now take you around the rest of your page and just sort of show you around. Okay, now I've already got a profile picture that was uploaded from before. You're going to want to upload one that is 180 by 180, and to do that you can simply go in here. You can take a photo even. I could take a photo right now, so let's do that. Let's take a photo and smile for the camera, Joe. Here it is, it's coming up. Take a profile picture. There I am. Smile, and that's fine. So set as profile picture. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. Oh, I'm talking. I'm just going to click go. Alright. So you can just take a photo if you want to and get that up there. It's as easy as that. And there we go. There's my profile picture in there. Okay. So that is your creating your page, adding your timeline, and I've showed you where you can get your photo cheat sheet from and all the rest of it. So what I want to have a quick look at now is just going back up here to your admin panel. I just want to show you around your admin panel just so you understand what your admin panel is. I'm not going to spend too much time here. So here we've got notifications of people who have recently liked or commented or whatever. These are the kind of notifications that you get up here for your personal profile, but for your page. I went out and asked people if they'd come and just like the page for me because I was using it as a test page for these videos, and I wanted to be able to show you how to get your URL. If you haven't already, so that's why lots of people have liked it there. Down here is also your new like section. This is really cool because you can now see who's recently liked your page. You can contact them, you can create engagement with them, you can make them friends as well, so your fans become your friends. You're kind of getting a bit of a double whammy in the news feed there, so that's pretty cool. And this is your insights. This is telling you who's reading your stuff. How many people are you reaching? How many people is are liking you? How many people are seeing your stuff in their news feeds? Okay, so this is your insights. You now have this new message section as well, so people can now message you. You can turn this on or turn it off depending on whether or not you've got the time and the resources to manage an extra message channel. But people can now message you directly as the administrator of this page. Okay. And in here is where you can, these are page tips, so there's all sorts of different things in here. I think there's view insights, I think there's one which is about claiming your URL, discover resources and tips and all that kind of stuff, okay? And then up here are some buttons. So very quickly, if we click on manage, if I click on edit page, this is actually going to take me into the back end of the page. Now, if you've already got a page up there, then you're going to recognize this. This really hasn't changed very much. One of the main things that's changed is this manage permissions section here. Okay, and really what it is that simply you're no longer allowed to have people landing on one of your welcome pages as default, and I'll go into that actually on day 2. We're going to be talking much more about apps and everything on day 2, so I'll be talking about that then. But it's in here where you can decide if you don't want your page published just yet. You could unpublish it if you don't want people to see it right now. If you wanted to put in a country restriction, you can. If you needed an age restriction, you can. You can change people's posting ability. Yeah, and what people can see on the page. You can decide whether people can or cannot tag you. This is where you turn your message button on or off. Okay, so you can turn your message button on here for people to message you. And in here is where you can start to put in lists of terms that maybe you don't want people to be writing about on your wall. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to immediately block those terms so that they don't move straight onto your wall. You can also delete your page from here. Okay. And then other than that, in here you've got your settings button, which is about who you use your page as. So are you going to use it as your personal person, or are you going to use it as your page? I tend to use my page as my page when I'm on my page. Also whether you want notifications sent to you. You've also, here's your basic information. Now, do you remember when we were looking at creating a page and I started talking about the categories and the different categories that you would have, the different pages you could create, i.e. community was really about creating a kind of a cause or a movement, local business or place. You could actually put in your address and all that sort of stuff, and then the only main difference on the other 4 was the basic information section. Well, this is it. So this is probably going to look slightly different if you put in a company, or if you put in a brand, or if you put in a public figure. Okay, this is where it'll be slightly different. So here's where you can put in your details, you can put in your description, you can put in your phone, your email, your address, you can put, all sorts of things, okay? If you add an address, please note, if you do add an address and it's a valid address, then whatever page you created will automatically be changed into a place. And a place allows people to check in. Alright, so no matter what page you choose, if you actually put in a valid address, it will automatically be changed into a Facebook place. Okay? And then as we move down, this is where you can change your profile picture. If you want to change your profile picture, you can change it in here as well. In here is where you can actually add featured likes, and you can add featured page owners. If I click add featured page owners, I can actually tick on this and click save, and that's in fact that's interesting. I wonder where that's going to be displayed, because that used to be displayed down the bottom left hand side. So let's have that featured page owner. Let's go and see if I'm displayed somewhere. In here you've got resources. This remains as it was, so this is just some great resources for you to you know, do certain things. So here's some guides from Facebook. Here's your sort of help center and stuff. Over here, that's where you get through to your ads. Here you can select your URL. Here you can invite email contacts, and here you can use social plugins. You can integrate Facebook with your website, and you can link your page to Twitter. You can have more than one admin, and I recommend wholeheartedly that you do have more than one admin, because should your personal profile ever get closed down for any reason, you still want to be able to access your page. So I do recommend you always have a second admin. Okay, apps, I'm not even going to go into apps because we're going to be talking about apps tomorrow. Okay, mobile, you can collect your mobile phone. Insights gives you your page insights, and then you've got the Facebook help. All right, so I want to go back to the page. So I'm really kind of running through that, guys. And then if I click into manage again, I can click on use activity log, and the use activity log really shows you everything that's happening on your page. As you can see, there's not a lot going on mine. This is going to show you any posts you made, any activity at all that you've done on your page, that you've created on your page. Okay, all activity, that's your activity log. All right, let's go back to the page. And what else is under manage? We've also got banned users, and then use Facebook as this page, which I don't want to do. The build audience section is about either inviting your emails, inviting your friends, sharing your page with your own timeline, with a group, with another page, and also going into the advertising. Yeah. Help is self-explanatory. That's where you're going to go and get help. All right. Okay, so let's hide our admin panel. We don't necessarily want that showing, do we? And what we're going to do is, on day 2, I'm going to be showing you what these mean, what these apps are. If I just click on this down button here, you can see I've got all these different apps, and I'm going to be showing you what they are, and how to get them, and what you can do with apps in day 2. Okay, so I'm just going to close that back up for now. You're also going to see down here you've got this about section. If you actually click on that about button, it's going to take you straight back to basic information that I just showed you from the admin panel. Okay, sorry, it's going to take you to this page, and then if you click edit, that's going to take you back to basic information. So really, this is the hub of where everything happens. Okay, this is where all your information is going to go in and show up on your page. All right, okie dokie. So we are now down here into the actual wall. What I want to do is make a post, right? So we just go into our status updates, and I'm going to put test post. Isn't this cool? Or something like that. And I'm going to click post. Now, just as normal, you can add your photos, you can ask a question. I'm going to go into milestone in a second. But what I really want you to take note of is these two little buttons at the top, which is highlight, yeah, or edit or remove. So if I click on highlight, boom, all of a sudden that post now spans the width of my whole page. So I can highlight my posts so they span the whole width of the page, all right? If I click on edit, I can pin to the top. So I can click pin to the top. What's now going to happen is it's going to go back to its normal size, because you can't pin and span, but you're going to get this little gold flag here, and that means that you can pin this post to the top of your wall, and it will stay there for a full 7 days. Okay, so you can actually decide that you really like a great post, it provides great information, it's great for engagement, it's getting lots of comments. You can post that to the top of your wall, and that's going to stay there for 7 days, so that when people visit your page for the first time, that post is the first thing they see, and they think, wow, that's really, really cool. Now, I've seen lots of people using this pinning post to, direct people with arrows and things over here to these. In all honesty, my recommendation would be to put an amazing piece of content right here. A really good video, a great blog post, something you've done that's a really fantastic piece of content, which is really going to drive engagement and make people want to stick around on your page and have a look around. So this pin post here needs to be a really compelling post. Maybe you've got a competition or something that can go up here. Yeah, and can direct people to a competition or a promotion or something like that. So use this post wisely, because that's a really, really cool little thing. And then just before we finish the video for today, I want to show you what a milestone is. Let's click on milestone. Okay, so what you can do, before you can actually add a milestone, you need to add when your page began, when your business began, if you like, when something really, really, tremendous happened in your business. So, for instance, if I go over to Free Fan Page Templates and just type in here Coca-Cola, just as a major sort of brand. Let's go into Coca-Cola and have a look at their page. Okay, so here's Coke, and if you look down here, they've got all the way down the bottom, they've got founded. So if we click on founded and go and have a look and see what that post actually says. I couldn't get the Coca-Cola one to come up. So here we go. Here's the Red Bull one I found. And here you go. Founded on April the 1st, 1987. We just made our first sale. Welcome to the world of Red Bull. So that's what Facebook is asking you to do. Okay, it's asking you, before you can post a milestone, that you do need to go in there and say, okay, when were you founded? So let's go and add a year. When did my test page come up? It was last year. And it was probably in about, I don't know, August. I have no idea what day it was. And start type, the Joe's test page for the Social Network Academy was born. Was, you can't see all of these, can you, unfortunately? I wonder what that is. I don't know what that says. So I'll click save that and see what that does. So, here we go. Started as opposed to founded. So there we go. That's probably a good one, actually. Started in August 2011. Now, what you can do, obviously, which I didn't do, okay, if I click on edit, is you can actually put in a graphic and put in a location and put in a story and, really kind of start to flesh that out and make that really funky with your page. I mean, this is what timeline is all about. It's all about people engaging with your page, going to have a look and seeing what you're engaging with your company, engaging with you, your brand, going to see when did you start, what was your story. I mean, gosh, certainly if you're a public figure, this is going to be really powerful. Certainly if people kind of want to model what you're doing and model your success, then having a story and telling people about you, telling people about what you've achieved, how you started, where you came from, that kind of stuff will be incredibly compelling. And we actually talk about stories on day 3. We talk about stories on day 3. So this is really important. We may well come back to here in day 3. Okay, so let's go back to now. So now what we can do is we can set a milestone, and a milestone is exactly what it says on the tin. It's just something that's happened. It's an event. It's something you want to shout about. So I could put today, milestone, recorded, new timeline course, if I could actually spell while videoing, new timeline course. Location, I could put Thailand if I wanted to, because that's where I am. And what's the month we're in? March, and I can say March the 22nd, and then I can put in a story about me, and I could even choose a photo or upload a photo, okay, which I'm not going to do right now. I can go and edit that later, and then I can simply click save. Okay, you have specified a date in the future. That's because I am ahead of American time, and this is in, Facebook is in Pacific, and I am in Thailand, which is a day ahead. So here we go. So that's my milestone. Okay, and you can really have a good play around with milestones and adding them. What you can do, just so you know, is you can literally go down your page and you can click on your timeline anywhere, and see that little plus comes up there? You can then click on that and you can add a status, a photo or a milestone at any stage in your timeline. So you can really flesh this page out and make it a really funky page for your fans and people to come and engage with. So there we have it, guys. That's kind of like an overview. It's been a bit long. I do apologise that the video's been a bit long, but this is, I may even split it up in the editing. You may be watching this and it might be 2 or 3 videos. But that is an overview of how to put your page together. What are the key things? Let me just come back on. Hello, how you doing? And let's just have a look at what are the really kind of key things that I want you to remember from this video. Okay, let's go into the admin panel up in the top right hand corner here. Okay, so one of the key things is underneath manage, this is where you're going to click on edit page and get into the hub of your Facebook page. Okay, this is where you're going to go in and you're going to edit everything. What would I really recommend here is one of the most important things is make sure you have more than one admin. So if anything ever happens to your account, somebody else has got access and you're going to be able to get access back to your page. So do ensure that you've got 2 admins. Okay? Your profile picture is obviously very important. However you want to do that, there's some very clever examples. In fact, I may just end this video by showing you some really, really cool examples, sort of as a montage as we go out of the video. Make sure that obviously you put in as much information about you and your company as you can. This is kind of the place as well where you might want to think about SEO. This is where you're going to start to put in some stuff about your company and your brand and some keywords that people may be searching for you in the search engines. You know, I'll be the first to admit I'm not a massive SEO specialist, and I do find that my content, as long as it's very engaging and people, you know, I can create rapport with people, then that tends to get me a lot more views than stuffing a load of keywords in an article. But this is really the place where you'd want to start to, in your description and your mission and things like that, you want to start thinking about just adding a bit of weight to your page and putting in some decent keywords in there. Okay? So that's really the kind of key things in that one. If we go back to the page, in your admin panel, your new likes is a very funky feature, so keep your eye on that. It really gives you the opportunity to go and engage with people that have very recently liked your page. Insights we're going to be looking at on, I'm just looking at my notes, on day 3. Okay. Yep, day 3. We're going to be looking at your insights in a little bit more detail. Your cover image is vitally important. That's absolutely huge to get that right. Okay, and as I said, I'm just going to end this with some examples of other cover images. And obviously we talked about your about section. And then it's just filling this page with fantastic content, engaging, fabulous content that people are really going to want to connect with, engage with, share, comment, like, send out to their networks, all of that kind of stuff. That's how you're going to really, really build your profile on Facebook. All right, and we're going to be talking more about content in day 3. So I do hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'm going to now leave and show you some examples of some great timeline images, and I will see you tomorrow when we're really going to be going in depth into this app section here. We're going to be looking at all of these apps, what they are, how to create them, how to go out and find really cool apps that you can install in minutes and create really good engagement on your page, and just really have some fun with it. So I do hope you've enjoyed today, and I will see you on day 2. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.